Morning Year 4, happy Friday. We've made it through another week and a week closer to hopefully returning and seeing all your lovely faces. I know that I really enjoyed Miss O'Connor's video this week where she said hello to us, and I know she's been enjoying spending time in school with the key worker children, and hopefully that'll be us very soon. I hope you're all staying well and I hope you've enjoyed the work that I've set this week. For your reading today, I went into school and I got the World's Worst Children number 3 that my class were actually reading before we left, and I thought I'd read you one of these stories of one of the world's worst children today, and hopefully Teddington you'll enjoy this and you haven't heard this one as well. So I went and I opened to one of the children I don't think we've read, and apologies if we have, it's been a long time and I can't remember. So I thought we would read Bonnie Bossypants today. And I'll try and show you the pictures as and when. Bonnie Bossypants. Bonnie was the bossiest girl who ever lived. She would boss around all of her classmates. Stop laughing like that, Larissa. You sound like a seal. Close your mouth when you're chewing, Chair. It makes you sound awfully common. Lose the perm, Perry. You look like a poodle, she would say. She even bossed around all of her teachers. I know you're extremely old, Miss Drabble, but stop dribbling. For goodness sake, straighten your tie, Mr. Trundle. You look like you slept in a ditch. Learn how to pronounce your R's properly, Mr. Richards. The animal you're referring to is a raccoon, not a waccoon. I have never heard of a waccoon. And, of course, she bossed around her whole family too. Brother, don't play with your yo-yo at the table. Father, stop picking your nose. And Mother, do not slurp when you drink your tea. It's disgusting. And you can see there the pictures of the people that she's already bossing around. The night our story begins, things came to a head at home. None of the family could hear Bonnie's bossiness. The 4 were sitting in icy silence around the dining table eating their supper. An already tense situation became unbearable when Bonnie's father didn't finish all of the food on his plate. Finish your peas, Father, or you will be forced to eat them cold for breakfast, ordered the girl. Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie, he began, but I am stuffed. I couldn't eat another thing. I said finish them, she repeated. Please don't make me, he said. I think I'll burst. Then you will be forced to eat them cold for your breakfast. No, replied his father. Not cold peas, please. I hate cold peas. They would make me sick. Eat your peas right now or I will stick one up each of your nostrils. And Bonnie wasn't joking. She took 2 off her plate, ready to push them up her father's nose. The timid little man burst into floods of tears. Stop crying or I'll fetch the bag of frozen peas out of the freezer and make you eat every last frost-covered one. This made the man cry even louder. Bonnie, please leave your father alone, pleaded Mother. Do I tell you that you could talk? If you have nothing to say, Mother, or if you have something to say, put your hand up, in the air. No, but I said put your hand in the air, growled the girl. Reluctantly, Mother did so. Her daughter made the lady wait ages until letting her speak. In fact, Mother had to change arms as the first one grew too tired. Yes, Mother? Thank you, Bonnie. I think I am speaking for all the family now. You have to stop bossing us around like this. Bonnie's eyes narrowed. Right, Mother. Father, you go to your room this instant. But, protested Mother. I said this instant. The 2 grown-ups sighed and stood up from the table. They sloped off out of the dining room. Quickly, please, Bonnie ordered. Chop, chop. Right, brother, put that yo-yo down. You clear the table and do all the washing and drying up. Do you understand me? Her little brother Benji nodded. The poor boy hadn't spoken a word since birth. Having the bossiest sister, it was easier to keep stum. Most of the time he spent curling and uncurling his yo-yo. Upstairs in their bed, Mother and Father began talking. They had to whisper, because if they spoke too loudly, they would get a mighty telling off. "Love," hissed his father. Love, hissed Father. "Yes, my dear," whispered Mother. "What on earth are we going to do about Bonnie?" Well, I've been thinking that this might be the perfect job for Wonder Nanny." "Who?" asked Father. "Wonder Nanny. She's the star of her own television show called Wonder Nanny, where she helps parents deal with the world's naughtiest children." "Do you think she could help with our Bonnie?" "Wonder Nanny has never failed. Her catchphrase is, 'Naughty children better watch out when Wonder Nanny is about.'" "Then our Bonnie better watch out," replied Father. Both giggled. Hee hee hee. Boom, boom, boom. Someone was knocking on their bedroom door with all of their might. "You two, stop talking in there," boomed Bonnie from the other side. "Sorry," Pear called out. "Silence," Bonnie ordered. And they were silent. Moments later, they heard Bonnie scream, "Ah! Ah! There's a spider in my bed!" Father went running into his daughter's bedroom, wielding his slipper. He had to do this most nights as the girl hated spiders. And strangely, there was always one in the girl's bed. It was almost as if someone was putting them there. The problem Father had was that, although he was running to rescue her, his daughter had just ordered him to be silent. As the man wasn't sure if he was allowed to speak yet, and did not want to incur the wrath of her, he used a pen and paper to communicate. He wrote down, "Please, can I say something?" And he scrawled it in a note and showed it to Bonnie. "Yes!" the girl screamed. "Atrocious handwriting, though." Dad wrote back, "Thank you." "Where is the spider?" he asked. There it is, kill it," said the girl in quite a frenzy. The man struggled to see it as it was so small. "It's only a baby one," he said. "Kill it." Father didn't have the heart to do so, so he whacked the bed right near the spider, and it bounced into the air and onto the carpet. Ping. "You missed it!" she yelled. "Right, Mother, out of bed. I'm sleeping in your bed tonight, and the two of you can sleep in here." Not for the first time, husband and wife squeezed into their daughter's tiny single bed, while Bonnie sprawled out into their big double one. The next morning, while Bonnie was at school, bossing her teachers around as usual, she even gave the headmistress a detention for running in the corridor. Mother got to work. She found the telephone number for the producer of the TV show Wonder Nanny. Needless to say, he became terribly excited when told about Bonnie's bad behaviour. "No offence meant, but your daughter sounds fantastically awful," he said. "None taken," replied Mother. "She must be one of the world's worst absolute children ever." "I'm sorry to say she is." "Don't be sorry. She sounds like TV gold," he said. "Now I just have some questions about Bonnie for you. Wonder Nanny always needs to know their likes and, even more importantly, their dislikes. Here goes. Question 1. Does your child have any phobias?" "Oh yes," said Mother. "Spiders." "Terrific. Question 2. I'll just show you that page before I read question 2. Question 2... Mother was shocked that there were quite so many questions, but she was sure it would be most important somehow. Just as the conversation was wrapping up, Mother said, "We're at our wits' end. We can't live in the house with her any longer. Bonnie gets so many rules about this, that, or like, it's a prison camp." "A prison camp? Oh, you must say that on television," squealed the producer excitedly. "So, please, can Wonder Woman come as soon as possible?" "Tomorrow. It's a Saturday, and that means we can film your daughter all day." "A day? Is that all you need?" "Oh, yes," he said. "Trust Wonder Nanny. Naughty children better watch out when Wonder Nanny is about." We have made hundreds of programmes over the years. And indeed they had. Who could forget the episode when Wonder Nanny cured a boy named Sturm of his chess addiction by forcing him to play computer games all day and night instead. But I love chess, the boy had protested. Then you will love Ninja Warriors of Armageddon 7. Or the time she had cut the headphone cord of a girl called Aria who listened to music all day and night and instead followed her around shouting in her ear, "La la la." "Stop," pleaded Aria. Or how about the episode where Wonder Nanny snapped a girl named Grace's recorder in two because she played it so dreadfully? "No, I need to give the gift of my beautiful music to the people of the world," she had said. It was enough to make your ears bleed. Or the episode where she stopped a boy named George's obsession with wrestling stone dead by hurling him into a ring with a gargantuan professional wrestler called the Refrigerator. Or how about the episode where he made a girl named Lottie stop wobbling her wobbly tooth by yanking it out with pliers? "Ouch, that hurt," Lottie cried. "I know, but I enjoyed it," said Wonder Nanny. You can see all of the children on the programmes on this side. I wonder what she's going to do. Or how about the episode where she put a stop to a girl named Kaya's shopping sprees by setting her pocket money as 1p per 100 years? "But I need new clothes every week," she said. "From now on you can make your own clothes from these old flowery curtains," she'd said. And the time on the episode where she controlled a girl named Keely's fiery tempers by dunking her in a freezing cold lake to cool off. "I'm cold," she'd screamed. "Don't you worry, when you're inside that killer whale's tummy, you should warm up." There has never ever been a child that Wonder Nanny has not got the better of, concluded the producer. "But you haven't met my daughter," sighed Mother. "I know, and I can't wait. She sounds like an absolute monster. Bye-bye." Mother and Father didn't dare tell their daughter who was coming to the house first thing the next day. At 8 o'clock in the morning, on the dot, the doorbell rang, just as the producer had promised. Ding dong! Mother, Father, and little Benji all hid upstairs in a cupboard, so when Bonnie bellowed from her parents' bed, "Answer the door!" no one did. Ding dong! "I said answer the door!" The other three held their nerve. Ding dong! "Right, you are all in big trouble. None of you are going to be able to watch TV for a week," shouted the girl as she stomped down the stairs to the front door. You can see them hiding just behind the door here. When Bonnie opened it, much to her surprise, TV's Wonder Nanny was standing right in front of her. "Good morning," sneered Wonder Nanny. She was a plump woman with glasses, and she wore her hair up in a no-nonsense bun. Behind her was the producer holding a clipboard, a cameraman holding a camera, and a sound recordist holding what looked like a cat on a stick, a sort of cat lolly, but it was probably a microphone. "Naughty children better watch out when Wonder Nanny is about." It wasn't a great catchphrase, but she was sticking to it. "Wonder Nanny?" asked Bonnie. The girl was incredulous. She was on the back foot for once. "Yes, it's your unlucky day," purred the lady. Bossy Bonnie looked aghast. Now she was going to be bossed about like she had never been bossed about before. No, protested Bonnie as Wonder Nanny stood on the doorstep. "There's been a terrible mix-up, Wonder Nanny. You must be here to see my little brother Benji. He never stops talking. You really need to have him taken away and locked up in a cage." "Ha ha ha," the TV star chuckled to herself, though it was one of those chuckles that sounded as if the person didn't actually find it funny. "I am not here to see him. I hear he is a delight. Silent, as all children should be. I am here to see..." Wonder Nanny left a very dramatic pause. "You." "Me?" Bonnie's voice went up. She couldn't hide her shock. "Yes, you," she said. "Yes, you," said the lady with a smirk. She smiled and looked like a snake baring its fangs, ready to go in for the kill. Why me? Demanded the girl, sounding very hard done by. Because you, Bonnie Bonington, are a complete and utter Bossypants. The girl's face soured. It was as if you were chewing on a number of wasps. You are the Bossypants, so-called wonder nanny, huh? Why don't you take your big wobbly bottom and wibble wobble off? Wonder Nanny smiled to herself, knowing the viewing figures for this episode were sure to hit billions. This girl was beyond bad. She was the absolute worst of the worst. Because I am not going to, snapped the lady, and she pushed past the girl and made her way into the house. By this time, the family had gathered at the top of the stairs, eager to see what was going on. You did this! Bonnie turned to them and demanded. She looked and sounded like an ogre. Let me just find my thumb. You can see her looking up the stairs at them. Oh, and just at the top there's a spot the difference between what she looks like and what an ogre looks like at the moment. It wasn't my idea, spluttered a frightened father. It was all your mother's. It took him less than a second to point the finger of blame. But, Bonnie, please forgive me. I thought it would be for the best, said Mother, trembling with fear. Mother, get down here this instant, ordered Bonnie. I want you to clean the toilet with a toothbrush. Mrs. Bonington, stay up there, ordered Wonder Nanny. Come straight down, Mother, demanded the girl. Poor Mother looked mightily confused. Now she was being bossed around by two people at once. Up, shouted Wonder Nanny. Down, shouted Bossy. Mother took a step down. Up! Mother took a step up. Down! Mother took a step down. Up, down, up, down. I'm going to wear out the carpet, called Mother in something of a panic. I am very disappointed in you, Mrs. Bonington, began Wonder Nanny. I know, muttered Mother. I am a terrible mother. I might as well go and jump in a lake. There's no time for that, Mrs. Bonington, snapped Wonder Nanny. When your daughter bosses you around like this, you need to take charge and boss her back. But how? Pleaded Mother. Let's say this third step from the bottom is the naughty step. When Bonnie bosses you about, you tell her that you are the boss and that she needs to sit on the naughty step for 5 minutes. Well, Mother gulped. I will try. The lady cleared her throat. But Bonnie, darling, would you mind awfully sitting on this perfectly ordinary step here for a moment? No, shouted the daughter. You sit on the naughty step right now, or I'm going to make you sleep in the shed for the rest of your miserable life. As quickly as her little legs could carry her, Mother raced down the stairs and sat on the naughty step. Pathetic, sneered Wonder Nanny. The woman called up to the father. And are you going to stand for this? Are you, Mr. Bonington? I most certainly am, yes, replied the timid little man. Now, if you don't mind, I might just pop out to walk the dog. Mother looked up at him, confused. We don't have a dog. Oh, well, I'll go and buy one then, replied the man, rushing down the stairs. Excuse me. But Wonder Nanny blocked his path. You stay right there, you wretched excuse for a human being. Am I in trouble? Wonder Nanny, he asked, close to tears. You both are, snapped the lady. Mr. and Mrs. Bonington, the pair of you are weak, weak, weak. Sorry, they both chimed in together. Don't say sorry, that's a sign of weakness. Sorry. Stop saying sorry. Sorry, replied the pair. Sorry, Wonder Nanny, said Father. We just can't stop saying sorry. Right, down to business. I want the pair of you pitiful creatures to work together as a team to get your daughter to sit down on the naughty step right now. How on earth are we going to do that? Asked Mother. Yes, how are they going to do that? Asked Bonnie with a smirk. The little girl was enjoying herself. Like this, replied Wonder Nanny with an even bigger smirk. She hadn't called herself Wonder Nanny for nothing. The lady put her bulbous nose right up against the girl's, and her voice took on a dark, sinister tone. If you don't do what I say, Then this will be your new pet. It can even sleep in your bed with you at night. Wonder Nanny reached into her pocket and took out the biggest, hairiest tarantula in the world. Oh no! Shrieked Bonnie. I hate spiders. I know, purred the lady. I have done my research on you. She dangled the poisonous creature right in front of the girl's eyes. Stop! Stop! Pleaded Bonnie. I'll do whatever you say, whatever. Then sit on the naughty step. Bonnie couldn't get there fast enough. She shoved her parents out of the way and plonked herself down on the naughty step. Although she hadn't been asked to, Bonnie crossed her arms and sat up straight to give the impression that she was, in fact, one of the world's best children. See, young lady, snarled Wonder Nanny, that wasn't so hard, was it? She put the spider back in her pocket. Now what? Asked Bonnie. I don't want to hear a peep out of you for at least an hour. Not a peep, do you understand me? Bonnie nodded her head. She was determined not to let out a peep of any kind. From the balustrade above, Benji let his yo-yo uncurl down and hit his sister on the head. Donk. Ow! She cried. I said not a peep, replied Wonder Nanny. Now, young Master Benji Bonington, I am leaving you in charge. The boy smiled to himself. He had waited his whole life for this moment. Mr. and Mrs. Bonington, I need to speak to you two in private. Follow me into the lounge, quickly. No dawdling, come on, chop chop. The pair of them did what they were told and followed the lady through the doorway as fast as they could. My word, this lady meant business. The yo-yo came downstairs again. Donk. And again. Donk. And again. In fact, it hit Bonnie on the head a few 100 times before the hour was up. If the girl made even the faintest noise, a voice from the lounge would shout, Not a peep! Eventually, the hour was up, and Bonnie's parents came back into the hallway with smiles on their faces. Wonder Nanny had given them a whole array of dreaded things to keep their daughter from being a Bossypants in case she grew accustomed to the tarantula. Just the threat of any one of these should keep Bonnie's bossiness in check. Do you want me to bury your hairdryer in the garden? No. Your bath is ready, filled to the brim with the greenest, gloopiest snot. No. You can eat your dinner without tomato ketchup tonight. No. I thought you liked raw turnips for tea. No. I have put a nice movie on for you to watch before you go to bed. It's all about a vampire who taps on children's bedroom windows at night. Don't have nightmares. Tap, tap, tap. What's that noise? No. I thought this week you could have put your duvet inside your duvet cover yourself. No! What's that smell? I washed all of your clothes in cat's pee. That way at school, everyone will know you are coming. No! We swapped your bedrooms while you were out, so now your little brother has the biggest bedroom. No! I thought you wanted your pocket money to go to children less fortunate than yourselves. No! And the absolute worst of them all. We've been talking, and we know all the kids in your year have one, but we've decided that it's best we don't buy you a mobile phone for your birthday. In fact, we think you should wait until you're at least 40. There's all of those threats that Wonder Nanny has now told Mum and Dad to use against Bonnie Pants. No, Bonnie Bossypants. So, when Wonder Nanny left the Bonington household at the end of the day, she gave a very special present to the family. Well, my work here is done. Another triumph for Wonder Nanny. Ha ha. Now, I thought I would leave this nice little hairy tarantula here. It needs a good home. She looked over to Bonnie, who was aghast. Without saying a word, Benji opened up his hands and the lady passed it to him. Bonnie let out a silent scream as the little brother stroked the creature. Here's my card, said Wonder Nanny as she turned to go. It's got all of my details on there if you ever need to follow up. Goodbye, Bonnie. It was so wonderful to meet you. She smirked to herself. She had won again. Naughty children better watch out when Wonder Nanny is about. As soon as the front door closed behind the lady and her team, Benji announced, "I love spiders." Mother and father were thrilled that their son had finally uttered his first words, aged 10. "In fact, I love spiders so much that this deadly tarantula can stay in my room, unless you would prefer it to cuddle up with you, Bonnie." No, once again no, snapped the girl. "Benji, do you actually love spiders?" "Yep," replied the boy brightly. "They are my favourite." The girl's face darkened. "It wasn't you who was putting them in my bed every night, was it, Benji?" "Benji?" The boy kept his cool. "Well, I'd better put Bossypants to bed," he replied, artfully avoiding the answer. "Bossypants?" sneered the girl. "What kind of name is that for a spider?" "I named it after you. Good night." Oh. A week later, Bonnie's episode of Wonder Nanny was shown on television, and the whole family sat on the sofa together to watch it. That was a first. Normally, Bonnie would lie flat on the sofa as the other three were forced to sit on the floor. Mother, father and Benji all howled with laughter at seeing Bonnie get her comeuppance on national television. Bonnie simply scowled. On the television, Wonder Nanny signed off the episode with a piece to the camera. "Knowing your children's worst nightmares is key in keeping their bad behaviour in check, just like we found out with that nasty little Bonnie Bonington. One threat of being bitten by a fatally poisonous spider, and she is as good as gold now. We all have fears. My biggest fear, believe it or not, is not spiders, but cheese. Yes, I can't stand the smell of it. Makes me want to hurl. Anyway, good night for now." A light bulb flickered on in Bonnie's brain. Bonnie became hell-bent on revenge. She wanted to teach that awful Wonder Nanny a lesson that she would never forget. Immediately, she began secretly stockpiling cheese, the smellier the better. Not just cheese from her classmates' sandwiches at school, or bits from the bin at the supermarket. Oh no, Bonnie collected foot cheese too. Bonnie kept all her precious cheese in the shed at the end of the garden, so it would not arouse suspicion. Oh, I forgot to show you that picture. And that's the pong-tastic feet at the bottom, the foot cheese. When she had filled the shed, she found the card Wonder Nanny had left with her parents in a drawer, which had her home address on it. Bonnie waited until dark, and then filled the wheelbarrow 3 meters high with cheese before trundling down the streets to find Wonder Nanny's house. Unsurprisingly, this huge TV star lived in a huge mansion, which she had named Wonder Nanny's Wonderland. It seemed there was money to be made in naughty children. You can see her pushing the 3 meter high block of cheese, or bits of cheese. Bonnie could see the lady's shadow moving around inside. She crept up to the house, but found that all the doors and windows were locked. "Blast," said Bonnie to herself. However, parked in the driveway was Wonder Nanny's brand new Bentley. Fortunately for Bonnie, one of the car windows was very slightly open at the top, so Bonnie began squeezing the cheese through the gap. The girl worked through the night, and the smelly cheese oozed into the car, filling it up to the height of the steering wheel. It took hours to put in everything that was piled up on the wheelbarrow, but Bonnie managed it. Now dawn was breaking, and as the girl lay in wait behind a bush, a half-asleep Wonder Nanny waddled over to her car. Without looking, she slid in, only to find herself up to her armpits in cheese. "Ah!" screamed the lady. Bonnie leaped out from her hiding place and jumped up to the bonnet of the Bentley. Clonk. "Sorry, Wonder Woman, did you say you did or didn't like cheese?" shouted the girl. "Bonnie!" shouted the lady. But before she could utter another word, her face turned a violent shade of green. Then, true to her word, she hurled, spraying the inside of the windscreen with a putrid yellow liquid. Blah! Splatter! Bonnie smirked. Wonder Nanny better watch out when naughty children are about. She leaped down from the bonnet of the Bentley and ran all the way home, chuckling to herself with every step. The smirk, however, didn't take too long, as that evening Wonder Nanny sent over a huge package to the Bonington household. It read "Fragile" on the outside. When Mother and Father opened it, they saw the box was filled with hundreds and hundreds of deadly spiders. The label read, "Some friends for Bossypants. Enjoy. With love, Wonder Nanny." There were far too many spiders for Benji to look after himself, so, very kindly, he let 100 or so cuddle up at night with his darling sister. And that's the end of that story for now. I definitely enjoy reading those. That was quite a long one, but it reminds me of being back in school with you guys and reading it to you and hearing you laugh and asking you to see, asking me to show you all the pictures. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that today. I hope you enjoy the weekend. Hopefully it'll be a bit nicer weather than it has been the last couple of days. But take care, and I will see you all next week. Bye.